only constant is change. We've heard this phrase thousands of times before, but today, in the age of accelerating, unprecedented, and never-ending disruptions, organizations need guidelines on how to manage these changes in terms of business growth and in terms of cultural change when dealing with employees. No room can be left for any ambiguity, as the consequences can be devastating for organizations who fail to embrace these changes. Take any industry today, for example. We have technology changes happening very fast in terms of new and efficient methods of completing workflows, introduction of workforce and work order management systems, and technology. So basically, the whole business model is changing fast. We therefore need to have an organization that can move faster and adopt many of these changes. There are no other options. So how do we go about doing this? Today we have the COO of Southern Cross, Frank Dancy. He's with us and he's going to share some great insight on these questions. Hi Frank, thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here with you.
Yes. So the first question I wanted to ask you today was, how can a company help their employees adapt to cultural changes?
Well, it's the same thing we're going through right now. We're trying to become a learning organization. And as such, we've gone about developing curriculum and those sort of things for teaching our techs, our supervisors, project managers, and all the other teams exactly how to employ best practices to learn things. So you're not born with knowledge. You don't come born knowing how to do leak survey or meters or those things. So we go about teaching you, and that goes a lot faster than just trying to figure things on your own. At the same time, we're developing all sorts of best practice tools that you'll employ with this new learning to be even more effective. And then we have a whole new set of cutting edge tools that we're building with our IT organization, with the BI analytics, the Route Smart, and all those sort of tools combined with our curriculum and with the cross training that people are having, where they're getting a chance to work on meter projects, going over to leak survey, working on our SWAT teams wherever an organization has trouble, to get involved in that and learn. So the combination of that experience as well as our curriculum is leading us into a learning organization.
Right. Well, how do you as a leader set new visions and expectations for your company?
Well, one of the big issues almost every company has, you have a tendency to be 90% focused internally. Mm-hmm. And one of the big changes I've made here is for us to be at least 50% focused externally. So with that, you take a lot more time focusing on the market dynamics, your competitive position, the SWOT for your various competitors, ultimately your value proposition, and the problems your customers are facing and how you might solve those. So by taking that external focus, that informs everything you want to do on the internal side. At the same time, we've got an operating model that we've developed where each group, be it accounting to sales to operations to R&D, they all have key initiatives. So if we're going from $1 million to $2 million, here's the various things each group has to do. And so this operating model becomes our execution model, and we work our way up the hill. So that model with an external focus allows us to make the kind of changes we need to make to be adept and agile in the marketplace.
Right. So to bring everything together, what advice do you have for companies that are in the same situation, trying to flourish in the era of constant change and disruptions?
Well, the first thing is the external view. Yeah, again, and most companies have a tendency to focus on themselves and the issues going on within their own four walls. But if you can force an organization to spend most of their time doing their analysis about the marketplace, what the problems of your customer really are, your real value proposition, that's the foundation. You've got to look outside and really begin understanding what those things are. Next time is also becoming dedicated planners. Any successful business person you'll see, they're dedicated planners. They have good budgets and good initiatives, and they've got real trackability, and that's how you know you're executing. Nothing happens unless you measure it and you have a plan to achieve it. And so that being a dedicated planner, that tool or method for execution is vital. Mm-hmm. So and then next is the employee training, the development, the cross training, the curriculum, the best practice work, the new tools. That's vital with it. Lastly, you got to embrace and leverage technology. It's becoming more and more prevalent. There's so many things that you couldn't do even 4 or 5 years ago, but where these two technologies come together now, both made another quantum leap forward. This is all available to us, and it drops your cost in half. And so you've got to be involved, embracing and leveraging the technology wherever you can. And that comes to the last part, which is really about experimentation. that's how you find these technologies and those things to apply to your situation, to apply to your customers' problems. You've got to do experimentation. You've got to leave a little bit of room for people to try new things and fail and learn something from that, and then and do the post-mortem, and then move on to the next thing that hopefully 3 out of 4 times you win.
Right. So. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Frank. That was some really valuable insight, and we look forward to hearing more on this. And
well, it's great to be here with you, Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you.